Yeah. So, how have you been?
I have been great. I have been doing all right.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
Potting.
2 podcasts.
Rewatching The Office.
Uh-huh.
It's my favorite show of all time. One of my favorite shows of all time. One of my favorite comedies.
UK? US?
The UK one.
Yeah, okay.
No, sorry. No, the American one. The American one.
They're both good. It's different, but I was going to say if anyone in the US hasn't watched the UK one yet, just check it out because the British humor just brings a different twist. It's like people might think they're watching the same show again, or you have to like readjust to new characters and give it a chance. It's something different.
I would watch the UK one, but I don't want to watch it out of like spite because a lot of people that I know, they're on this like hipster thing of like, oh, well, if you didn't watch the UK one, then you're not really a fan of The Office. We're like, man, shut up.
That's not true.
Bitch. I like this one. I
like
what I like. Leave me alone.
See, I won't even start about Shameless then.
So you have a lot of that.
Shameless UK has more seasons. I really think, can you check out how many seasons Shameless UK has? Because Shameless US
Shameless has a UK version?
The first one was the original.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, but I never watched it. I started with the American, and I can't change now. You know these characters, right?
But that's the same thing I had. I started with the American one, so it's like
hard. The same name. This ain't Frank Gallagher. Who is this?
11.
Oh, they also have 11. That's the UK one?
This is the UK one. British TV series.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, no, Paul Abbott. That's oh no, yeah, it is.
It's the British one.
Oh shit. Okay, so the same. I guess it stopped in the same. So now I wonder. Now I'm very curious though about like because the other one I think also just finished on 11 seasons. That was the last. To what extent the stories are the same or similar? Because I mean, all the characters are the same names, same concept and everything, but the storyline is probably different. Especially because one is like heavily based in Southside Chicago, and you can't really replicate that, is it? UK has different issues. I mean, they're both poverty ridden, so. But
yeah, but UK.
But now different. If you like learn new people, they're the same people, but they're different.
Yeah, they get to know the new actors. Yeah. They don't look quite the same. Like for example, like one of the most iconic characters on The Office, the British one, the American one. I keep saying it wrong. The American one is Dwight, right? Yeah. And then I watched the British one once, and I saw their version of Dwight. I was like, I can't. But
they don't have Dwight. Yeah, it's different. It's something else.
I was like, I can't do it, and I can't. I can't. It's too much. It's too difficult.
Even though, like, if you start with the one, maybe the other with Dwight will be weird to you.
Exactly.
That's the thing, man. A good series, and that were the best shows, is just the fact that you really feel connected to these people, and they're like your friends, and it's like someone would just replace you with someone else on one day, and it's like someone acting like you. It's trying to act like you with someone else. Yeah, it doesn't work. It's the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like replacing your mom with your aunt. All of a sudden, your mom's your aunt. You know? It doesn't work. But there hasn't been any good shows lately, I think. Well,
that is a good one. I have not been watching a lot of television, no, because television has gotten kind of shitty, in my opinion, ever since Game of Thrones ended.
Any movies we need to check out?
They really weren't able to pick that back up. I know people are gonna shit on us, like, bitch, you didn't watch this.
Watch Queen's Gambit. I did watch Queen's Gambit.
Oh, did you watch Queen's Gambit? The girl but what? Okay, so look at this. Let's talk about this for a moment.
Right.
What the fuck is that kind of a concept? Oh, she plays chess and she's a girl. That's it. That's my show. What kind of
She's a girl when girl didn't have rights, and then she gets to play chess.
So she plays chess.
Yeah.
The fuck is okay?
There used to be people making mad money with chess back then, right? I mean, what's the equivalent of that right now, nowadays? Is there something like
Crypto.
A skill that? No, I mean like a game you would play that makes you really good money in certain tournaments, but once you don't do that anymore, there's no money to be made in it. Like she used to be sponsored, basically. That's what people don't think. Like she was an influencer from back in the day.
The girl from Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, because people would pay her to be on to do these photo shoots, right, as well. And then they would pay her to she would make money entering these tournaments, and wasn't it eventually she was making money out of it out of tournaments as well, or is it just tournament money?
I don't know nothing.
But there was a lot of money in it.
I don't know nothing
for back in the day before inflation.
I know nothing before inflation.
Yeah,
when you still had this gold standard.
Yeah, because remember the first guy, the janitor who became her manager technically, even though he was never there. I mean, her mom was their stepmom was the manager, right? But the guy gave her money to enter the first tournament. The janitor.
I didn't watch the show.
Oh, you didn't watch the show?
What
What are you talking about?
Why are
Like
you
you're watching
talking to me
shit, man.
about?
Because you're like, oh, let's talk about it. Like,
No, that was what I wanted to say. Like, you having a whole conversation. I was trying to follow what you were saying. You having a whole conversation with me about
I'm
the
like,
show.
how do you not know this?
I was like, why is he talking to me about? They keep talking to me about it. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
But I didn't watch it because it's
okay.
shit.
Okay. Well,
I didn't watch it
man,
because she's a girl and she plays chess.
Yeah, it's not,
The fuck am I watching that for?
All right. Yeah, I guess
What kind of a concept is that?
it was cool, but it's not like something you watch twice. I think that's what it is.
And they have a movie where they do that
Unless
too.
she wants to smash a guy like for
And
the
they're
first
always
time.
queens. Always the queen of Cotway. Same thing. It's a girl and she plays chess.
Yeah. Well, Bridesmaid still was,
That was a completely different thing.
Yep. But it was a woman.
Oh yeah, that's the connection. Oh, there
it.
was a woman in this too.
It was a show about women. But why is it like actually every show that they talk about where like women are the protagonists, it's like the back of the day and start. You know what? That's proof that things are better now. Where they're still complaining.
And here we are.
Here we are. We're plotting.
What? Expound.
Okay, so look, what's an exciting story? It's like when someone is like oppressed and they overcome, right?
Yeah.
And it's that whole thing. It's like a woman. I'm like the only one that's allowed to play chess, and I beat everyone. So like I changed everything. I'm a trailblazer.
Oh, you can't set that. You can't do that now. Yeah, no.
Bridesmaids tales, like horrible things happening. This is how it used to be, and we overcame. Okay, I didn't watch the show, but I know the premise, right? And then they're still complaining like that. Things now aren't really a lot better than they were then. Like, bitch, yes, they are. We just had Laura Sanko. I just posted about it today. She just commentated her first event. The first female commentator in
First
UFC.
female commentator. Congratulations. Round of applause on that. You'll have the sound effects later.
Yeah. she just did the Contender Series, which is like sort of the draft system to the UFC where they scout new talent, and she was in broadcasting for 14 years and now is commentating. So, which was always her dream, and let that be a lesson to, because like a lot of, I don't want to turn this into a negative or anything, but like there's a lot of ladies out there that, of course, like everyone's doing their thing, but there's a lot of ladies out there that want to blame other circumstances too, like their own laziness.
And there we are.
Not just ladies, by the way.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So, speaking of that, Donda.
No, I see what you mean. But
it's like with everyone. I mean, it's not just like, there's too many people that blame outside circumstances, and we talked about this in the last episode. We're like,
I have these conversations with people a lot. It's like, and then they start having all these conversations about politics and, critical theory. And I'm like, you're not going to solve any of this. How about you just go get a job? You're not going to get...
Well, if they did this...
The president is the president.
I have the answers.
You have the president that you have. You can't do nothing about it. How about you go flip something?
Exactly.
And make
all
some
you can
money.
do is vote. You have one vote. And that's it.
Useless.
If it happens to fall somewhere else, then,
Yeah, you fucking don't go
It doesn't matter. You know what? That's actually funny. Before we go into like the actual topics of this podcast, there's the people that really push for voting, and I'm for voting. I vote, but the people are like, your vote makes a difference and can make a difference.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Especially in Holland, doesn't, because we have a very good political system. So once you have a very good it's funny that once you have a very good democratic political system, this is as close to as it gets to a perfect democracy. It's impossible to achieve perfect democracy, but your vote matters less, if that makes sense. Because the difference is...
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like we have so many political parties that represent certain, like every interest.
Yeah, different interests.
Yeah,
like it
everyone has a
balances
voice.
out eventually.
Yeah, so no matter who you vote on, it doesn't matter. The country will be the same, everything. So the more democratic you get, the more your vote does not matter. Damn. All right.
I'm looking at this. Kanye West's new album Donda dropped several days ago. I'm looking into this. There's all sorts of the conspiracy theories have started.
Oh, I want to hear this. I haven't heard nothing. Like, of course, listened to the album. I haven't heard anything else around it except for the fact that there's this random beef that started in between him and Drake, and then they were threatening to sort of having this Cold War of who's going to release their album first, or they wanted to release it on the same day or something.
Wow, there's a lot of information in here about this man's life. Okay, I'm not in the mood.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So the way it started is that on a song by Trippie Redd that features Drake. Drake takes shots at Kanye West. He mentions Kanye West. It says something along the lines of you can't say shit to me. My blah blah. My record is set in stone. Something in that line. So Kanye West didn't like this. So what Kanye West does is puts Drake in a group chat with Pusha T. Then sends... seriously. And then
not something men do.
That is absolutely not something that men do.
It's an emotional reaction. Yeah.
But he puts here. I'll show it to you. The group chat text.
Oh, they're out. Someone leaked them.
Yeah, no. He put Drake in a group chat text with Pusha T, and then posted this, and he posted it online, so everyone has seen this, right? He did that, and then he posted it, right? And then he slammed, then he fucking shits on the dude like you'll never recover, you little bitch, something along those lines. I like to exaggerate for dramatic effect.
Hey, people believe
He
you.
says, "I live for this." He gives him he added Pusha to the text. It's really
Why is
listen.
Joaquin Phoenix Joker in there?
He sent that message, the picture, and then he says, "I live for this. I've been fucked with by nerd ass jock niggas like you my whole life. You will never recover. I promise you." That's what he says to Drake. And then he posts it that he said that. And then after that, he posted. There's 8 people in this conversation, by the way, apparently.
One is the publicist, probably.
And then after that, he posted that online. And after that, he posted Drake's address online. He posted his address online.
Oh man! But then that's not even a big deal, because everyone.
No,
can
his
find out
address is already
his
address was already public a long time ago.
And there's some retards who go to what's it called? To go to Beverly Hills as well, and go view some mansions of the famous.
Yeah, the tour. Nothing else to do with the life.
Yeah. I mean, if I had done everything there is to do in the world, then I would do that probably. But that's it, because there's other things to do. I would not. I'm not gonna say before I do that.
You would what?
Nah, I'm not gonna say it.
You're not gonna say yeah.
I can't say it. A good thing I realize I'm on camera right now. I don't record on the record.
No, but so that's the story. Then he released the album. In other news, Drake's album's coming tomorrow. Huh?
Oh shit! Yeah.
That's the idea was Drake's album had been announced for the 3rd of September already. His album was still we don't know, and he just decided to drop it. What is this? 2 days ago now.
Damn.
2 days ago, 3 days ago. So he decided to drop it very close to it. And that's where you already had that issue of like, okay, whose release is it? Like, who has the right to this period? Which is the same beef they had the last time. It's like, oh, I'm releasing something, you're also releasing something around the same time. It pisses me off.
Question though, does it actually matter in the grand? I know what their thinking is, but does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Will it really affect plays? I think it's even better if they both release it on the same day, because people are going to compare them. There's going to be a lot more people listening. I think more people are going to listen on the day to both. Not that they hear the whole album, because Kanye released 335 songs on it. So
yeah, so I mean, look, it's long, man. It's a long album.
It's hard to.
It's a 1.5 hours. It's very. So okay, what I'm seeing is a lot of praise for it, which okay, fine, but it is still a little mixed. There are definitely also people that don't like it, right?
Yeah.
It's not just all that, but overall, it seems to be like mostly praise. So good for him. I think it's the best album he's released in a long time. I think the last time he released an album that's anywhere, that was in this area was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes, it was similar.
Yeah, exactly. That one was way better than this one, though. Still,
I was saying it's a Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy meets the gospel album.
The gospel album that he was trying to do. Here's my, and we'll talk about the Drake Kanye thing in a minute. But if we're talking about this album, because you heard the whole thing.
Yeah.
What were your first thoughts?
So my first thought, it was that it was old Kanye mixed with gospel Kanye. That was the first thing. Dude, I thought it was great because it was the perfect mixture between okay, so no, let me roll that back, because what you expect from Kanye nowadays is a bit of a distorted sort of album that's all over the place, more like a mixtape. More like mixtapey, It always has like some sort of mixtape feel to it where it doesn't connect together. So first thing I was looking for is like consistency and how structured is it, and actually surprisingly it's very it's very consistent, very structured. It's all like one long storyline, and the beginning and the end should be the beginning and the end. It's all perfect in that sense, and that's the first impression. Yeah, I would say. It's like a revival, and it feels to me like it's his last album. That's the feel it had to me.
Really? Like the last one?
It feels like this is his, like... if I say, like, this is the last one he produces for himself, because, of course, he's going to produce for other people, then that's the right way to go out for me. And it makes sense because it's his mother's album, basically. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. It's named after his mom, of course. No, here's my thing, right?
but he won't end there.
No, he
But
won't.
it feels like it should be the last one.
He should definitely stop.
This is
now.
the high you want to end on. It was to end on a high.
Here's my unpopular opinion, because first off, I'll admit.
Well, first take. This is his first take.
Yeah,
What was
well,
your first impression? Yeah.
my first impression was like, My first impression was like, all right.
You didn't like it.
My first impression was like, this is long. That was my first impression.
Oh yeah, that's
my
what
first
I mean.
impression. This is 27 songs. I'm already not in the mood for this. I will say the first impression was good. After the skit, the first actual song on the album is Jail, and that's an amazing song. I thought that song was really, really good. So that was really like, okay, this is all right. You know, now we're getting somewhere. The more I went into the album, it was like, yeah, I see where you were going, but it's just still, it sounded unpolished to me in certain areas.
Did you like the rockish ones? Because there was
That's
a lot.
Jail
You know
like,
what it was?
Jail was like that. That's Jail.
It was like
First one.
his. It's like all his albums mixed into one. You know what I mean? Because there was the rockish ones. Which Jail was it? You said?
Yeah, that's the first one.
For example, was very reminiscent of Ye. The album where he had a lot of rock, rappy songs on. It was more rock.
Yeah.
Really
Yeezus also.
Yeah. And I was saying this, and this is a harsh way to say this too, but this felt like, Life of Pablo. I was going to say, Life of Pablo was the abortion, and this is the legitimate child
This is
that he wanted.
the proper one that he was trying to do. Yeah.
Is that an unpopular opinion? Because I think me and you always agreed on that, and I see a lot of people liking Life of Pablo.
There's a lot of people that like Life of Pablo, but
It's
I
like
think
50-50.
I think anyone would say that this one's better.
100%. You should ask Jeff. But yeah.
We
What
should
were you
ask
saying
Jeff.
before that.
No, so I listened to this, and it grows on you. It grows on you as time passes. The more I listened to it, the more I was like, okay, it's actually a very good album in terms of the music. The music is really, really good.
Yeah.
In terms of the production, in terms of the songs, the songwriting, the melodies the hooks that he made.
Yeah.
The features give great performances. So it's a very well put together album. I still think it's a little too long. Definitely, I would remove all the part twos. Like, make a decision about what you want the song to sound like. And
That's
done.
true.
And there were definitely a couple songs in there that you could have left out, and then you would have had a good, cohesive,
Right.
body of work. But okay, you want to do 27 songs. My critique is this. Here I go. Can't come back from it.
Yeah.
Well, several things. It came off to me as very superficial. Right? So you have him now 42, I think. And you have a couple of weeks ago Nas, who drops King's Disease 2, right? And what you're seeing is these older rappers sort of transitioning into a new stage where they're sort of they're rapping about very different things. You know what I mean?
Jay-Z is number one.
Jay-Z with 444. Exactly. He put that out, right? But very different things, going very deep into things, but also sort of sharing sort of like the life lessons that they've learned. This sounded like it's sort of like he used the sort of the religion thing to sort of not have to go deep. To sort of like he was sort of hiding
praising
behind
God,
his religion. So it was like, oh, there's this and that, but God is here, so it's fine. And that's sort of how every song sort of just concludes. Is what it sounded like to me. I know this is going to get a lot of hate for it, but I don't care. It sounded like he was using that to sort of hide behind what was really going on or getting any deeper. And I'm like, especially for him, the man is now a billionaire. He was a Trump supporter. He dyed his hair blonde. Like, you've done
got a lot of explaining to do.
You have a lot of explaining to do.
And he's he's
Just went
definitely
to a
the most
divorce.
interesting artist in the world.
But then you
in terms of, like, what do you want to know about it? Like, mysterious in a way too, very closed off. Like, people know he has the mental issues he has, but nobody really knows how it affects him. You get glimpses every once in a while, also in the work.
Yeah, in the work as well.
It's a big opportunity, of course, to share. I see that. But also, I don't know if this was really the album for that, because everyone was expecting it to be dedication to his mom, and I kind of missed that in a lot of ways too. Like, if it's named after his mother, of course, maybe that's not the direction he's going. Maybe he just named it after her, and it was like, oh, I'm praying to the Lord,
Yeah,
to her,
and he did it on the Jesus is King one as well, right?
Yeah, but
It's just there. The
difficult
music was also not very good. Here, the music is very, very good.
Yeah.
But it's just, and maybe it's me, right? It could be me.
Well,
But I don't. The music was great. It's just the content, the topic. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was just. It's not for me. It's just for me.
What I noticed, like a lot of people, the critiques I read is that was for them too Jesus-y, too religious and stuff.
That's my point. But that's what I'm saying.
He's always been that. Like even
Nah,
not
not
always.
It's
in recent years.
In recent years, right?
It's always really been.
It's always been part of his music. Like he made
Jesus Walks. Yeah.
Exactly, of course. But you still had that raw energy. You still had those songs that that were really about real life and his real life issues, and it wasn't always the darkness of it. Like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is what it's called. Like it gets very real. Here it felt like it was like on the edge of that. Like he was trying to do it, but then no, I'm not gonna but no, but no. But that's what it sounded like with a couple glimpses here and there, where he does get real and does get authentic. But I just like you've done a lot. There's a lot going on. You could have made an incredible album. Have you heard Nas King's Disease?
No, I haven't listened to it yet, man. Because I heard the first one. I loved.
You would really like it.
It's better than the first?
Actually, I would
Maybe
say so.
Because the first was a surprise to everyone.
The first, but that's what's so dope about that. And we could talk about that briefly. But the first one was an experiment, right? Because it's Nas, here's Hit Boy. How is this going to work?
Yeah, maybe.
How this is going to go. With this one, you can really hear that they're more confident this time. Right,
so they went full on for that because
they went
off the feedback of the first one.
Exactly, they know that people like this now, so they went way more. They were very confident in this one, so it's a great album.
The first one, because with the first one, I realized we did a review on it.
You did, we did talk about it,
and I feel like what you're mentioning now, it was like they threw shit at the wall and see what sticks, and most of it happened to stick.
It was I liked it
because it was at a time where like I think Eminem took a risk then. Was it Eminem who released something trappier and like he tried something new with it, and it really didn't work? Was it him? It was one of the OGs.
It was one. I know what you mean.
You're right, and then we were surprised that like but Nas did it the right way, and we were talking about that guy did it the wrong way. Tried too hard.
Nah, I can't remember who it is. We did listen.
In any
to
case,
it's not Eminem.
It's
If it worked.
The formula happened to work. They probably got lucky with it more than anything, right? That it worked the first time, and then rode with it, I guess. Because I can't talk about it when I've listened, but
but I think they really did think about it. I think Hit Boy really surprised everyone by showing that he can go there, right? Yeah. As well, and then the second one's amazing.
They put him on.
The second one was is also amazing, but mostly what I was referring to is that he really talks about like real shit, right? And that's what I feel like. That's what I'm looking for when I'm listening to like the older rappers. And he also in this, it sounds like he wants to like the average age of the features on this album is like is under 30. Like it's all
yeah. You
see what I'm saying? It's all very young people, and it sounds like he's trying to sound young. So you get this sort of thing, right? And people are gonna hate me, but do you know?
Have you
heard of these? I don't give a fuck.
I don't know what you like. I think there's a lot of people on your page.
I don't even care. But anyways, have you ever heard of these? Like, have you seen these like gospel network programs where they have like these Sunday school broadcasts for kids? Oh yeah. And they have like these musicians that come in and make like music for kids. Yeah. But see, because they're or teenagers even sometimes. But since they're not allowed to listen to like secular music, so then they come in and they do like gospel rock or gospel rap for the kids.
Is that why they did it?
No, I'm just saying. Have you ever seen something like you've seen?
Yeah. I mean, like I know that. It's
like kind of like Jesus is also cool because you can rap about Jesus and you can do rock. And that's what this gives me that vibe.
Yeah, exactly. But
this gives me that vibe of like, I have all these cool rappers that you like, but they're talking about Jesus, so it's cool. And I'm just like,
I always wondered what. Like,
no, it's not. It's boring, and it's corny.
So
it's don't.
Have you ever seen those Christian metal as well? But that's a white people thing.
Yeah. I have heard. Yeah, I've seen it though.
That exists. That's weird, man. Because I feel like they're worshiping Satan when you hear it.
But they're not.
But it's like, no, this is for Jesus. And like, what if you are that Satan in human form that they talk about that infiltrates the church?
Yeah,
in the
Bible? The Antichrist.
That's it. Like
the one they talk about.
The biggest Antichrist to exist, and what we're going on a bit of a tangent here, is that guy, the Kenneth Copeland, the one who bought Tyler Perry's private jet and got like flack for it. because he's a multi-millionaire and he's spending all the church's money to get his private jets and everything, and he's claiming like, I need this because I want to attack and pray to the Lord, and I can't be in a tomb full of demons. That guy, he has the most demonic look in his face. That guy is the biggest scammer on earth.
This dude. You show me the video of this dude.
That video is insane.
We can have that conversation one day if we get to the right place, because it's a whole industry. It's a whole.
We should have
it's a whole scheme.
Those
pastors. It's a whole scheme.
Anyway.
But fine. No, but back to
let's keep it
reel it back in.
And by the way, so about this, the churches, I always wondered why, because it's predominantly, I wonder who you can explain to me why, like black churches, because have you been to black church, or is it?
Not African American ones. African American ones are different.
Oh, African Americans are very different.
No, it's African.
African churches, because they do a lot different music than.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
Why is it there that because you just explained it's like they want to make Jesus cool to the teenagers and the kids and everything too, but I wonder why.
Well, that's what
churches
he's
don't
doing.
Do it.
That's what he's doing. Black churches don't really do that to my knowledge. They don't really do that to my knowledge. The Jesus is cool. The Jesus is cool rock and rap thing is often. I mean, there's a lot of white people I see doing that actually.
Yeah,
the Jesus camp. Jesus camp.
They don't do the rap thing.
You've seen the doc.
Yeah. But they do the rock thing.
They do the rap thing too.
The rap thing too.
Yeah.
I cannot take that seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you're a very Christian black guy, I can take it seriously.
Man, let me. It's not even. Let me listen. Let me see if I can find this.
But are you saying that, like with Kanye, you think like he's trying to get more? Is he trying to convert people on this album? Like it's a stretch,
yeah, but no, it's not a stretch because he said so. He said so before.
Oh, really?
He's like when he back in
because that would make sense with
a couple years ago. He said he's gonna stop making secular music because he wants to make music only for God, and he wants people to listen to that. And
I thought that was a manic episode though, and then he released his gospel album, and it was like now it's over.
He's doing it now. He's been like I also thought it was a manic episode, but he's doing it again, so he's being consistent. Another thing that annoys me that completely ties into this on this album, they cut out all the cuss words.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, but I didn't know they cut it out. Well, or they just didn't have it. Because that's what I was going to say. There's no cuss words.
Okay, so this is because there's people there's actually people that are complaining about this, including myself. For him to release the explicit version. Because he cut it out. You can hear the verses, like you can hear the word that has to be. It's like the clean version. It's just like the clean version on Spotify.
Yeah,
you can hear the word that needs to be said, but it's like empty.
It's muffled. That's like,
and I'm like, why do you fucking do that? Why do you get 5 Yo Foreign and cut out and Lil Durk and Roddy Ricch and cut out the cuss words? What kind of nonsense? Imagine, think for a second. Like you have this. This is what these dudes do. Like this is how they rap. Right?
Yeah, you got them.
And you're just fucking. You're fucking with it. You're fucking with the words.
So what he tends to do with people. Remember what he did with was it Push's album?
No, it was Tiana Taylor.
Oh shit!
Fucked her shit all the way up.
yeah. And then he released it without asking her.
Without asking her anything. Just like whatever.
That's just what he does. This is like part of the contract. It's like when you sign him, I produce your album. Like this is what I'm gonna do. Sometimes, sometimes this happens.
Do whatever the fuck I like.
Yeah.
No, he
might be released tomorrow, maybe next month. I'll let you know when it's out. Like that's it.
Yeah. No, he's
I might cut out your voice and yeah.
So what you get is these songs that are yeah. The sound, the music is great, right? But then. Like, for example, he has a song with Young Thug called Remote Control. I really like that one. But it's like, then it's all of a sudden, it's like, oh, and Jesus bought me new clothes. And I'm like, man, shut up,
not for you.
Bro, shut
like
up.
He polarized himself too much a little bit.
Shut up.
But
Just
I mean, okay.
Stop.
So if you listen,
because these rappers, but also because these features that he gets, and I'll give it to you. These features that he gets, they don't do that themselves in their music. You see what I'm saying? So it just sounds like you're doing it just for this. It doesn't sound real. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he was like, but this is a way of converting the artist as well to coming in. Probably, you know these people that like, and like I don't know nothing against Christians whatsoever, man. Enough friends that are Christian, and I hate that argument too. I got friends that are this, but yeah,
that doesn't work.
But you know the ones that you could come over and you're having a good time, and then within an hour in, they're like, so. Are you still fucking outside of marriage? It's like, so what I have found in my, there comes a speech, to try to convert you. My cousin, who like as a teenager maybe a little older, used to, go fix people's computers in their houses. There was this guy who was super Christian. Every time he would come fix his computer, while he's fixing the whole thing, the guy standing on top of his head talking about Jesus, and like, it's like, brother, I don't want this. This is not for me. How many times do I have to ignore you to, And
that's what it sounds.
This might be this. He was doing this with the features.
It sounds forced.
Yeah.
It sounds forced and inauthentic in many places, which is a shame because the music itself is absolutely amazing. Like he really did a very good job. Like, there's a lot of almost every song on there. It's just very well done, very good,
and I
very
know
innovative.
You would like
also.
it because I mean you've had not the best relationship with Kanye lately, and not personally, but
I don't know.
And when I heard it, I'm like, oh, Oliver's gonna love this because you aren't so bothered with lyrics most of the time. I mean, of course, if you focus on the lyrics, then you can break it down. But usually, you told me before, if the song is good, the beat's good, and the cadence is good, I will listen to it and like it.
And I've been listening to
that.
That
was what this is.
Yeah, I've been playing it a lot. I've been listening. I definitely have my standout tracks. Remote Control's amazing. I really like 24. Let me see if let's get this track list up here. Oh, I got the track list.
There's a song, Lord, something. Is it Lord Jesus? Or something that's
Jesus Lord, probably.
Jesus
see,
Lord.
there we go already. It's like Lord Jesus or Jesus Lord.
Lord. But see, again, the 27 song album, I haven't even been able to dissect any lyrics or anything. That's it, because it's recently been out. I have a business to run. Like, I mean, okay, this is part of the business, doing this, but
and I'll say
if
this,
you pay me to do this show, I will.
Okay.
Put more work in lyrical breakdowns.
Let's see what we have here.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Hey.
Who knows? Maybe it'll come soon.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Where's the
no sexual content?
We just had the track list and now they took it away again. I don't understand these people. We need a person who looks up stuff.
Okay,
here we are. Finally found it.
Grab the water.
So he has. It's 27 fucking tracks, man, and it's like okay, like you could. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't a very big fan of God Breathe. That wasn't really it for me. Jail is great. The Donda chant, I guess you just have to do that. That is what it is. We have to keep that one there.
That's my favorite song in the whole album.
Yeah. Okay.
Donda.
Jail, you can skip God Breathe for me. Off the Grid is dope. Hurricane is really great. He has The Weeknd on there.
Did you have the feeling it was like getting intenser and intenser the more it went on? Like it was more and more intense.
Yeah, it got really good in the middle to me. Like the standout tracks for me start with track number 9, Junya, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Believe What I Say, 24, Remote. Like this is where it's where it's at, the middle part. This is where it really starts.
That's true.
For me.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I really like Pure
But
Souls.
This is what I mean. It was like
well.
it's one of those the albums you talk about that are a body of work that starts with the beginning and ends with an end. When it's not like thrown around.
Like if you left out the part 2, it would have been 23 tracks. That would have even still been doable. But
I don't know why he of all people went for the 27 track thing now. It's so un-Kanye like. Because all the features he had on. Because him, especially lately, he's been doing the 7 track releases.
He did.
Yeah, I did Life of Pablo, but see that was the abortion.
But after Life of Pablo, he did the 7 track thing. Yeah, he was the one who came out
and then
with
he was producing 7 track albums for others.
And it was a very good concept. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah,
7 tracks. We get what we need, and we're done. And they were so good. You could have done a 7 out of this. You could have picked 7 really good ones.
When you produced Daytona as well, and he had the Kid Cudi album too. What was it called? Kids See Ghosts?
Yeah.
Those were also like 7 to 10 tracks, and that was a really good year for him. Whether it was Ye or the projects he produced, those were for me like the top 5 albums were Kanye produced of the year then.
Those projects.
Except Drake?
Except for the Tiana Taylor one, he fucked up.
Yeah, okay. But no, I mean, so there was the Kid Cudi, the Kid See Ghost one, Daytona, Ye, for me, were 3 of the top 5. And then there was the Nas, King's Disease, and Drake's. Which one was he
no, that wasn't that year. Nas King's Disease was later.
Was it later?
Yeah.
It was like in the...
No,
maybe it was like in the transition year?
Nas King's Disease is last year.
No, we did it before, man.
No, it's last year.
Well, last year was the COVID year.
He did it then. He did
maybe right before COVID in February, like January.
No, I know where the confusion is. He did before King's Disease, and this is where it went wrong. He made an album with Kanye West. Nas also made an album that Kanye West completely produced, and that one didn't do well. And then he went and do it with Hit Boy, and that was the one that worked.
The Hit Boy one is the one we reviewed, though, but was that?
Yeah, that's the Hit Boy one. That's last year.
Because we didn't record during COVID. I did everything from home. And I'm sure we did the... Let me see.
I'm very certain it was last year.
Man. King's Disease.
Yes, I'm 1,000% certain it was last year. Because I remember where I was. Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm looking for it now. But
Hey, look,
2020, yeah, right? Yeah. When in 2020 though? Because if it was like January, February, I wouldn't understand it because this is like the transition.
It was.
year,
It was
maybe.
like in the. Honestly, it was like in the going into the fall already. It was pretty late. 2020.
Hey. Yeah, you could make a point and I'll look for it. Anyway, because this is not a major point.
Yeah,
for me,
no.
but-
So that was what I'm saying. Yeah, great music. I don't really fuck with the content. I hope the explicit version comes out so I can enjoy the cuss words that I would like to hear.
Oh, it's not out yet. The thing.
I don't know where it is.
August 2020 was around my birthday. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so okay.
yeah, it was
I guess this is when lockdown was lifted for a little bit.
Yeah,
That's why we recorded. I guess.
yeah,
Shit, man.
yeah. That's what it was.
Okay, this is the first time I'm gonna say in the last 2 years time went slow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
It's amazing. The second one is
Killed
nuts.
it.
It's nuts.
Okay,
It's
so he did
fucking
have
nuts.
So Kanye definitely had and produced the 3 for me of the top 5 albums of that year. That because this is 2019 we're talking about, right? When it was like
No, it's like 2017.
really
Your years are all.
I'm
You're all the
all the
way
way
all-
off,
You're
man.
all the way
Yeah,
up.
it
You know, I promise you. I know it very well.
Probably.
Because that's the
Oh,
year
yeah.
of the beef with Pusha T. It's
yeah, we
2017.
were doing 3 Angry Men. Now.
Yeah. It was 2017. No, it's
Fuck it.
that was a great year. And then after
Still,
that,
3 of the doesn't change my point. That
yeah,
year,
no,
was 3
yeah,
of the
that
top
year,
5
whatever
that
year it was, that was the
whatever
point.
year it was
Anyways,
that year. And Drake probably had an album, so
yeah, but now we get this, and it is what it is. It people like it, you know. It's good, you know.
we should make a list and put it out. Let's do a list. I'll put it out on social media. And you guys can argue and agree. Because 7 is an album. 7 tracks allows you to classify it as an album, and then you qualify for a Grammy, right?
Let's
make our top 7.
what
both
I would-
of us
of this?
album. Yeah.
That's what. Well, that's what I was gonna say. The audience should do it too. Should ask the
Yeah, of
audience
course.
to do
Yeah,
top
yeah.
7 of.
Like we'll put
And
ours
then
out, and then they can.
All right, boom.
Put theirs.
I got you. Jail. Let me see. In no particular order. Jail. Junior. Believe what I say. How many I got? 24. Remote control. Moon. How many I got now? I'm bad at math.
I think
How many was that? Oh, we are
4
horrible.
or
They're
5.
gonna make
I wasn't
fun of us.
counting. I was.
They're gonna make fun of
I
us.
thought you were just sharing it. I was trying to remember which song is which because I don't know which
Jail.
song is which. Mm-hmm.
Junior, believe what I say. Let me see here. 24. Moon. Then I would. That's 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I would do Pure Souls. And then I would add Hurricane.
All right.
That's my 7. Those are 7 good ones.
You write them and send them to me. Oh yeah, and in no particular order.
In
I
no
just
particular-
put them,
yeah, well,
because that's
yeah.
impossible almost for me.
In
to
no
do.
particular order, but
I'm not gonna
those are
listen
the
to
ones-
27 songs and then even order that.
No, I mean, and you know, like I said, it grows on you. So like, I think maybe if next couple of weeks it might be a different one, different 7. But
yeah, and I've listened to it 1.5 times now, so
yeah.
need to continue. Once I've listened to it like 3 times, so like 1.5 more times, I'll put out the 7, and I'll try to do an order to it, but it's not really a particular order, but I'll try to keep because look, I feel like for this project, if you want to put out the top 7, like it's easier to, aside from the fact that it's a lot of tracks, it's easier to put it in order because it's a storyline. It feels like a storyline, you know. It's like when you have series and you have the main plot and then the side plots.
Mm-hmm.
This one has one main plot, it feels, and you know the differences are in the side plots. Like the side plot, you don't really have to know what's going on, but for the main plot, you have to follow the series. That's what it is. So there's a lot of things you miss, I feel, if you're like putting it on shuffle mode. Like a feeling you will miss. Like
And definitely the arrangement, the order of the
you know-
songs is definitely done in a particular way.
like the first half of it, I was listening to in the gym.
Yeah.
So I put it on, and only like after like 20 minutes or so, I was like, oh wait, I just forgot that I'm listening to the Kanye album because it all felt like it blended in together. It was like one long thing.
Yeah, it's a very consistent. The sound is very consistent all the way through. All the way
Yeah.
through, it's very.
It felt like I was
consistent.
listening to the same. The first half, I felt I was listening to the same song.
Especially in the first half, it sounds
Yeah.
like one very long song.
But
Yeah.
not that it gets boring. But there's this one. So which song is? There's one really long one that gets boring. But that's it. Like, let's check it out. Whatever the longest track is, there's a pretty long one there. I think it was like maybe 7 minutes or.
Oh yeah, I don't know exactly.
Which, by the way, back in the day, especially when I used to listen to a lot of rock, wasn't long because there was so much, but there was a lot more play with it. There was a lot more sections to the music. Then yeah.
Look.
But you know what?
Yeah, you see, Kanye West's latest album, Donda, is a dud. That's what Financial Times says. Customizing Kanye West's a Donda track list.
What the fuck? It's not a dud, man. Though, like,
No, there's people that really hate it. There's people that
What's
said
wrong with
there's people that really think it's just absolute garbage. There's a lot
okay,
of,
listen.
There's
If
people that
you
said that.
think it's garbage, comment and let us know why. Put out a clip and because especially when it comes to music stuff, we're open to all kinds of crazy ideas, man. I mean, Oliver still tolerates Jeff in 3 Angry Men if you want to plug it as well.
3 Angry Men
Used
podcast.
Used to do it, and now the guys are still doing it.
Yes.
You're still focused on music, right? Still hip hop and pop culture as well.
Yeah, all
Okay,
sorts of
more
stuff. All sorts of stuff now. To be honest.
but mostly music. So, for the pure music takes, 3 Angry Men.
In this article by Complex, they rearranged the track list into a better one, and they took out the extra songs. They made their own version.
So they took the Donda chant out, right?
No, Donda chant is in there.
Oh, they put it.
You're like, oh, no,
Okay. But I mean, like, if it's in there, it has to be the first one, of course. It's an introduction. Who's yelling? Yeah, well, I heard it. Picked it up.
I also got that. Yeah. We'll survive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's coming.
Oh.
Where's it coming from?
Our lines are mixed up.
Is it not coming?
Is that?
Let me. We'll cut this.
It also okay.
Hold on.
Because you know what I was thinking, like, at first.
Hold on. We'll have to hear. Okay, stop now. So
Stop.
I think it was the
It's
site.
that. Yeah, it's a site.
Apologies, technical difficulties.
I was like, are we? Because
sounded
people
like it was
use
coming really
mics.
out of the- yeah.
It might have been like crossed with this somehow in some way. I don't know. And then I was like, are we listening to a girl and a guy secretly fucking? That was one that they still have the mic on.
Yeah, while they still have the mic on.
Which would have been great
Great content.
to go viral on Patreon.
You have the Patreon set up?
I have a Patreon, but I've never done anything with it. I just set it up.
Okay.
Just in case.
This would be just to start the Patreon for this.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, this content will probably get removed. Might get removed on some platforms. Everyone's super sensitive stuff if it was people fucking. And then, Patreon would have been the way to go. And TMZ would be like, look at these. Like, they caught Crosswire.
Let me hit you with this headline. Kanye West called out Kim Kardashian for divorcing him and gave details of their intense arguments over trust issues, distance, and family secrets in lyrics from his new album. I'm going to be very honest with you guys.
It's a stretch.
I heard none of that.
No.
I heard none of that. Now, again, people are going to hate on me because maybe it's me. But I heard none of that. Nothing. So I see these little... well, it's BuzzFeed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But...
BuzzFeed consists of a couple of people who... There's a lot of good people there. Don't feel attacked, right? I'm going to attack some of you, though. There's a bunch of people sitting in Starbucks on a Tuesday, afternoon. And they're just writing whatever comes to their mind or whatever they're hating on that day. Like, let me make up this rumor. It's a lot of the time is that. Or like, let's write this script for this piece of content that nobody would give a fuck about. Like, let's visit the third best coffee shop of 1993. And then hear how they're doing now and why they're financially fucked. Like, well,
What I will say
and the whole premise of the story and comes down to is the world has changed. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What I will say that I think is dope, he did all these live streams to promote it. You heard about that, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, I didn't know this because I didn't watch. But apparently, Kim was there. She took part in it. Even though they're divorced. Yeah, this look. She's the one in the gown. She's the bride. So that's very dope.
I don't mind Kim anymore.
Well, why would you expound?
Well, I mean,
why would you mind in the first place? What was the point?
I know people say like because the beauty standard changed and it started with her and then
that's not even true. But fine.
The girl made a lot of money off of a sex tape. And that's how it started, and now she's made... I don't know. And she's trying to have all these political takes, even though she's not qualified to do so, and, I'm not saying that's all justified, but that's what, like, why you would mind her. I don't mind her at all.
I mean, man, people should do what they need to do. You know what I mean? I would have moved differently if I was Kanye West, but,
Of course. Especially, you know what? Like, they used to be friends. Kanye got out of the friend zone with her. Like, he escaped the friend zone. Went all the way to... wifing. I mean, wifing is he's the wife, and that's it. Like, then he you're supposed to be warned by then. Like, you've been friends with this girl, and trust me. So, if you have female friends, you know everything about them that they'll never tell a single guy, right? That they're dating. So he knows all her stories and all the nastiness and all including all the public stuff, which is all the divorces and the 30-day marriage and all that. And God knows what he knows because he knows a lot more than we do. Because he used to be friends with her. She used to talk to him about everything.
I mean,
he was simping big from the beginning.
Big simp.
Big simp.
Big
simp. And
big simp.
I didn't even lay the connection there.
Oh my Jesus Lord. No,
that's the song on the album.
Is that simping?
Oh my Jesus Lord.
Is that simping?
No, he was simping.
But is that? I mean, I think it's simping.
I think because he was taking her out for dinners, and they would gossip. He would hear her out. They would talk late at night about her other relationships.
I feel like you're making all this. Like you're saying.
No. But this is
like
stuff.
You knew him. Like he would take her out every night. I was there.
No, but this is this was in the Kardashian show. Everything they used to be friends and everything. Way back.
I don't watch that.
Way back. You never seen those clips?
I've never seen those clips. I don't.
It's she was dating all these athletes and everything, and then she would always talk to him, and he would take her out for dinners and stuff. They were friends. He was friend zone. And somehow one day he became a billionaire, and magically she's like, I actually always liked you.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But I still don't mind her because
Apparently, in the album, he also raps about that they would fight with each other over who's richer.
I would too.
Rich people problems. Oh, you would too?
Here's the thing.
You would beef with your wife over who has more money?
Bitch, not my wife, because I wouldn't be married with her.
Bitch, I'm richer than you.
No, but we talked about this the other day, in private. The tax brackets
in
thing.
Private.
In the different tax brackets, right? But you wouldn't be married to her anyway if you were in different tax brackets. That's you. So you wouldn't be fighting with your wife.
I wouldn't be. No, you could still get into that situation. I mean, what do you mean? If we're in the same, no, we could do that.
Well, it depends. Look,
we could be in the same tax bracket.
I know what happened. Because women tend to do this thing, right?
Okay.
They you're talking, and then they start bringing up all this other irrelevant shit, the personal stuff. It's like you're arguing about her work or her job. Well, you should start maybe pulling your own weight more into a relationship. I was just hypothetical stuff. It's like, oh yeah, but your dick is small, stuff like that.
Yeah, we weren't talking about that.
No, but that, but that could be this discussion. That's how you end up in a money discussion. I would never knock someone for making the money or something for in a relationship with them, but she might be the one that instigated it by saying stuff like that. There would be an argument well, I make more money than you. That's not true. I'm working on this album.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Jesus.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's how he came up with the name.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a stretch. This could be towards anyone.
It is a stretch, man, what people are looking for.
Because it starts with she fell in love with me soon she met me. We both got a bag, but my bag is more heavy. We had to stop counting. It's getting too petty. You're not a real stepper. You can't overstep me. Who says to his wife, you're not a real stepper? That's a little much, even for Kanye West. Yeah, well, I do not believe that he's referring to his wife when he says, you're not a real stepper. You can't overstep me. That's not to your wife. So you need to stop. Anyways.
I'm
not buying that one. This is a stretch. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't there, and people are looking for it. People are looking for it.
But if you know what it is, though, people zoom in on, they look at what you've been through in life during the period you were doing the album, and then they start looking for those things. And it's
they're looking for those things, yeah.
You know how they say, when you go online, you can find an answer to justify your point always, no matter what you're looking for. It's the same thing.
Anything.
Any lyric, I can look for a certain thing, in any album, I can look for anything personal, and I can find it just because that's how my brain is connecting the dots, because I'm looking for that thing. Doesn't mean he was thinking that. It's going to apply to everything.
Yeah, man. So that's Donda.
That was Donda. We'll wait. Maybe we'll do an episode, actually, when we can just do Drake's review.
Well, I was going to, because that's September 3rd, so that's tomorrow.
Well, I mean, we can do on Zoom.
Yeah, for sure. But they're talking about that it may be leaked today, but stupid. It's not real. It's tomorrow. But I was gonna ask you, have you seen the cover?
No.
Have you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't remember.
This might be your first reaction to the cover. I'm interested in what your opinion is of the cover.
This will be my first reaction to the cover. I'm pretty sure.
Because I think it's genius.
Oh, I've seen this.
And nuts at the same time.
But what is the point?
It's literally just the fucking emoticon. of a pregnant lady.
Pregnancy, but it's also every single tint of woman.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, man, he loves everyone. He's a man of the world.
Yeah, but does
he's
this
a man of the
mean-
world.
Is he saying I don't use birth control? Is that what he's saying? Maybe he has maybe you know how Push brought up you're hiding your son and everything in the diss track, so we're going back and forth, and he's like, well, joke's on you. I have many sons. Everyone. That's what he's saying, right?
Joke's on you.
Yeah. And then wait, what?
How is the joke?
It's not.
How is the joke on me?
That's how he's like, oh, you thought you got me with that one. I'm hiding all my children.
You're gonna reveal a whole family.
I want every race. This is Pokemon to me, motherfucker. I want to catch them all.
Oh my lord. No, but CLB drops tomorrow.
But is there any explanation, or are people reaching again for this one? Am I reaching?
For the cover? No,
Am I reaching?
You're definitely reaching.
I'm right?
No. Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, you just wait. You wait until Pusha T releases The Orphanage.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing.
I think the cover's fucking dope, but I'm a Drake fanboy, so I always make an argument that it's dope. But I genuinely think it's dope. I like the new album covers. You know how back in the day,
though? Is it
you know how back in the day when you made an album cover, it was expected that either you would be on it or the title of the album would be on it, or both.
Nowadays, and most rap albums had to be you and your favorite car.
Yeah. But now they make album covers without the title on it. It's very common to do that. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the music now is digital. So if you go listen to it on Spotify, the title of the album is already there, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to put the title of the album in the cover. These little things fascinate me. I know it's a tangent. I know it's boring, but these are the little kind of things that I noticed that I go, oh, how technology changes art.
Oh, yeah, for
how
sure.
you do.
You remember we was talking about this thing? Well, I don't want to release too much detail because it's a little bit of our secret, but one of the artists I manage next album, we're going to utilize several pieces of artwork per track as well. It's like podcasts do. You have the main artwork, and then every episode has an artwork.
That's the artwork.
Music has to keep up and stuff. We're doing a lot of creativity with it. It's a lot deeper than that, but it's like a catalog where, you know what I feel like eventually it's going to go to, well, for people who really, really want to support a band or an artist and they really want to spend the money on them, because, people say you have to support the artist, you have to pay for the music, pay for their... if buy LPs, buy vinyl records if you really want to support them because those are expensive. It's gonna end up being where you pay for the super fans, pay hundreds of dollars or more for a big catalog, where every track is on an LP, and every LP has its own poster, cover art that you can frame. Where it's a whole piece of art. I think that's gonna happen eventually.
Really?
Exclusively, that's gonna come out exclusive.
And people are gonna make NFTs out of them.
Yeah, 100%. This is an NFT too. The Drake and Barca shirt. And
It should.
Well, it could be if you do the one with the moving graphic, where it's going.
Oh, you just fucking steal it,
right? Yeah, I mean, but yeah, NFTs.
No, but
I think that would be dope though. If you start releasing that artwork for each track, and then you release an exclusive sort of catalog, actually, which is what it is. That's for the super fans.
I think people have tried that.
Yeah.
Oh no, Kings of Leon, I think did something like that.
Oh, well, there you go.
With the NFT.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think this album is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
But
we might get an album review. Very biased. I'll try to base you next time. I'll try to bring in the devil's advocate or critical part. When I listen to it. Because I know there's always something to be critical of. Right?
He's definitely gonna attack Kanye on this as well. That's my theory.
Yeah,
my theory is that he set all of this up to piss Kanye off, and now he has him. Now he's got him where he wants him.
He just recorded something.
No. I think this whole album. So this was my theory. This is my conspiracy theory.
Right.
Because Drake started it sort of this round, right, with the Trippie Redd verse. Remember that he sort of started it with that round, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Drake, right?
No, he started it back in the Push days.
But that's what I'm
Drake
saying.
Still needs to come back.
Exactly, right?
Oh, is that?
I'm Drake, right? You got me once. You got a quick one on me.
Yeah.
I couldn't bounce back from it. Okay, cool. Knowing Drake, he's pettiest. He would never let that go, right? He's pretty much said it also in a lot of songs. He's never gonna let that go, right? So I sit back and I find the right moment. You see what I'm saying? I need to time the right moment. There's things going on, but I'm going to find this moment. See what I'm saying? and then I prepare this whole body of work to destroy you, and then right before I release it, I rally you up with some verses, knowing how you respond. I know you're gonna react this way, and he got exactly what he wanted, right? So Kanye West reacts to this, and now he that conversation is back. So the world is looking, right, and the albums will be released in the same time. You see what I'm saying? So now you just dropped. You went first. Okay, cool. Now it's my turn.
So I'm gonna take all the attention that you created, and extra.
Listen,
and put it on me.
The OVO
Spotlight.
team does not make mistakes.
No, for sure.
Nothing is a coincidence. They don't make. There's no coincidence.
No, there isn't. But there's
no coincidences.
That's where.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what always separates the strongest, the best in their fields, in every field, in every entertainment field. I would say sports field, music field, movie field, everything. When nothing is a coincidence, when they do it repetitively over and over again, where like, oh, the first 2 or 3 times I thought it was a coincidence, and now it's not a coincidence anymore.
At that level, it cannot be a coincidence. It's not even just his idea. There was you have to understand. There was probably a round table of people. They flew people in from Saudi Arabia.
Trudeau was there.
Yeah, fucking, you know what I mean? to discuss.
Like, give me a tax break this year, and I'll get you
exactly how they're gonna do this.
Yeah,
and they were fucking. So that's why I think there's gonna be some hard shots towards Kanye West on this. I think the shit that he was supposed to do back in the day that he didn't do, I think he'll do it here.
You know what I think too? If Drake wouldn't have,
but I could be completely wrong.
Do because if this was well planned and they really have this plan, which we'll find out. I think Kanye was maybe Kanye was anticipating something like that, and that's why he was. So he would have waited and wanted to push the release of Donda, to wait to see what Drake has to say, and then he would have added. Or he has a couple more tracks in the vault that he didn't put on the album now that he would have put on.
He does.
If he had the release after Drake.
He does diss Drake on this album.
Yeah, but like he'll go harder. He'll have new tracks that are just solo, just simply diss tracks. So, actually, I don't know. He wouldn't fuck with that because Jesus is watching. That's because like this is a Jesus dedicated album. Like he wouldn't put the diss track on here.
No,
I probably would release it as a single though.
Do that separately.
Yeah.
No.
He already lost. Actually, he already lost.
Ooh.
Kanye already lost.
How?
In the debate, the back and forth.
How?
Because he doesn't have like everything he can come up. Like he has the Jesus album now. It's the Donda album. It's dedicated. It's very religious. He didn't put a proper like Drake diss track on it because, and it would be out of place in an album like this.
Yeah. But
so there's no way he can do it where he looks good.
I don't know if that's smart. I don't know if that's how he beefs at that level. I don't know. I don't know if he would ever really do that. I think he would be more the kind of person to be like, "Oh, I had the bigger album. I'm the bigger."
Yeah, because he's never good at beef.
Yeah,
He'll have other people do it for him.
Exactly, and that's what happened last time. It became a Pusha T thing, but Drake doesn't give a fuck about Pusha T. Drake wants to beef with Drake's problem is Kanye West. You just got your fucking killer rapper bulldog.
Yeah, he was giving all the info and all the leaks.
You got your fucking killer rapper bulldog to stand in front of you and come and fucking kill me. No, bitch. This time I got you. He's not. He's not around. He's on vacation. He's not around. I got you alone. Yeah. You know, like you get jumped by 2 dudes. Yeah. They got the best of you. And then now you're out one day. It's like, oh, I caught you alone this time.
And it's the short one too?
Yeah,
it's the short one.
It's the short one. I caught the short one by himself. Oh, he gonna learn today.
Yeah. That happened. I'll tell you a story.
That's what this is.
And you know the story from Middelburg. Back when I was studying in the South of Holland, I was on a night out with friends. Me and 3 friends were walking back, and we wanted to enter from the back door of our apartment building. And there was like 7, 8 people chilling in the dark alley, like just drinking and everything. Mm-hmm. And my friend, at some point, we were like, and me and them was in a discussion, laughing around and stuff. My friend yells something to me, right, as a joke, and they thought we were yelling at them. And then suddenly we're swarmed by like first this short guy comes up to us aggressively. And we're like, "What's your problem?" He's standing there like this, and then suddenly like all of a sudden there's 7 people. All of a sudden there's 7 on 3, and we're at the door, like we're about to enter the complex and stuff, and we get jumped. We get hit and a fight ensues, and like I quickly managed to get the door open and immediately sneak in. Of course, your instinct afterwards says like I should have just been able to drag 1 person in and then it's 1 against 3.
Yeah.
But you think that after because all this chaos ensues.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm out clubbing in like one of these dance bars in there, and I run into this guy,
the short one,
yeah, and I'll give him a look, and he comes, and he's like, "Hey man, so if anyone ever fucks with you or anything, like I'm here, man. I'm here to back you up." Like, all right, well, whatever, man. You're like, I let it go, man. Because, like, my friend called the cops at that point. Of course, they show up, like, 15 minutes later on their bicycles.
Cops are fucking on their
Bicycles.
bicycles. Look at
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah, that's what happened.
15 minutes later on a bicycle.
Got jumped by 7 people. Yeah, you could get stabbed. Like,
Everyone is dead already. You come in 15 minutes later on
Not
a
gonna
bicycle.
lie, like, for the next 2 weeks, I was carrying a knife with me on the streets. Like, just one of those, like...
Allegedly.
No, I can say I did it because I've never used it. I never had to pull it, right? But this guy, fucking guy, I'm pretty sure, like, that's what makes me think, like, if he was there with some of the people he was with that night, would we have gotten in a fight, or would they have the same energy? Because this wasn't even, he knows some of my friends are around, but when I ran into him, it was 1v1, face to face. So you could have the same energy. But I mean, I'm twice his size, though.
He's short.
That's the thing. I wonder if he was my size, what would have happened, though?
Nah, dudes like that. It's just throwing some bullshit. They know they ain't shit, but they have their friends with them, so they feel tough. Blah blah. I've noticed though. I know dudes that used to do that, and then there's always a matter of time until someone catches you alone.
Yeah.
And then when they get caught alone, they get fucking cooked.
Middleburg is a small place. You know everyone there. And even I remember the first time, like, as soon as we got jumped and entered, I told my friends, like, isn't that the guy from that kebab place, the delivery guy? Not Amore. It was either Alenya, or there was a place across from it that had the unlimited spare ribs in the same street, the same alley. There was a place that was like Egyptian place.
I think, yeah.
And I think it was their delivery guy. So I'm like, this guy I see every time. Especially if you see me a lot. What are you doing?
Yeah. This is gonna go
must have
wrong.
been really drunk. They must have been really on drugs, and I don't know what.
It was dark. He didn't recognize you.
Of course, of all the people that punched me, it's the big guy. There's one big guy, and everyone else was small.
Yeah,
I get punched by the big guy.
You have to take the proper punch. Oh man.
Whatever. So, Donda.
Donda.
This should be the end of this episode. Donda.
That's how we should end it.
Yeah.
That's how we should end now.
No, I put in the song.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
All right, well, I know it's because I wanted to analyze we don't have time, but fuck it, we'll go over it a little bit of time. Right.
I mean,
We'll do a quick take. Wanted to talk about Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley.
Tyron Woodley.
And Jake Paul. You know what? I'll give him his respect, right? Because we've all been critical, especially because the bums he's been beating up, right? Because he's been taking like his local cab driver, and he's been taking Ben Askren, who's retired, had hip replacement, was overweight as a wrestler, knocks him out with one punch. I'm like, okay, anyone can do that, Literally, I mean, I can train you for 1 month, you can do it. But Tyron Woodley packs a punch. Tyron Woodley is one of the best welterweight champions of all time. UFC. He's not a boxer, but he tried to learn. He showed up well too, and he won. And honestly, you have to give credit to
Jake Paul won.
Jake Paul won. Yeah. You take a kid who is the multi-millionaire, has made all his millions, and doesn't have to fight. He takes 3 years off, basically doing this full time. Takes the training, hires the best nutritionist team, the best trainers, and the best everything, taking it seriously. And looking good for an amateur. Like, really looking good for an amateur now. I wouldn't say, like, you can't compare him to the pros and stuff. You gotta give him his credit. The only thing I'm really disappointed by is Woodley. I mean, he rocked him. He rocked him bad. Should have been knocked down, because it's scored a if the ropes hold you up, or you're pulling yourself up with the ropes, it's a knockdown. That's the rule. The ref didn't see that. Still wouldn't have changed the outcome to me. I'm a bit surprised because there's a lot of fighters and everything, and I don't know if it's like being blinded by delusion or something that are convinced that Tyron Woodley won, just like Woodley himself was convinced that he won.
He was convinced himself that he won, or? Yeah,
and one blind-ass judge gave him the fight too. But, and I'm not being like, I had my money on Woodley, right? So I lost money on Woodley. I wish he won. He didn't. He just got outpointed. He had the bigger shots, the bigger moments, of course, but that's not how you win boxing. In a fight, if this wasn't rounds, if this wasn't 8 rounds and stuff, I would give it to Woodley. As a fight, I would give it to Woodley. As a boxing match, I give it to Jake Paul. You played the game right. You scored your points, everything. You survived. I was really surprised you survived, because from the 3rd round onwards, he's like breathing out of his mouth heavy. He's finished. I'm like, oh, this is over for him. It's not gonna last long. But then Tyron, what his issue was, and his end of his career in UFC as well, is he had no output, and it was weird to see it. Like, he tried to close the distance in a way that a wrestler would, and his stance wasn't right. Like, he was sort of trying to waddle in like that, and then try to throw punches as well. And at some point, it was like you had two guys. You had Jake Paul backing off the whole time, stepping on his back foot, and Woodley just standing there waiting for one shot. But every time he's waiting for that one shot, at some point Jake's going to throw and land a few softer ones or a few taps, and that's how you score. But, you just got to give him something to think about. If you look at the fight, I don't know if you're going to check it out, but he was open, like Jake was open most of the time. He was there to get hit.
He just didn't go for it.
And I'm sure like he would adapt to strategy more if someone was like more aggressive towards him or going forward more. But he didn't have to, because Tyron wasn't doing it. He was looking for that one perfect shot, which you're not really going to get with a boxer who's always moving his footwork.
Yeah.
Because back in the UFC, like, you couldn't really move the same way backwards because there's the threat of his takedown. His wrestling was insane, right? So he would use the fake, takedown attempt to get to you with the hands as well. Jake knows there's no takedown. This is boxing, so no. I got enough to think about. So just at least, like, just if I do this the whole time, at least your eyes are occupied the whole time. Then you can take someone by surprise more. There was none of that. There was not a single jab. There was no, like, fake. Just feint, even if you're too far. Just at least extend your arm like this. Because then you're like, when is he going to throw? Is he going to throw? Like, because, maybe he's going to pop it now. And then suddenly the right comes. Like, there's none of that. Like, it's like inexperience as a boxer. Like, he just, like, as long as he's fought, like, he's 39 now. He's also getting older. Doesn't look it. And he's in shape. But as much as he's learned how to fight, just shows that boxing is just a different game. You can't just
chess
learn
match,
it just
man.
like
It's
that.
chess.
Yeah, and
it's chess with fists.
It's chess with fists, exactly. You can nullify that if you have output, knowing that you have the power. Of course, he's undersized. Jake's bigger.
Oh, that's
Jake's a lot bigger. They weighed the same, but it's one is cutting weight, one is not cutting weight at all, just natural weight. Because he used to fight at 170 pounds, Tyron Woodley.
Okay.
And Jake was naturally like 210 pounds or something. This is like 50-pound difference. It's like, and now he went down. They fought at 190. So Tyron is up 20. Anyway, and just the height difference was too big. But even though Jake won pretty clearly to me, like, I think the scorecard, like 6-2 was close. At best, if you score the knockdown, especially at very best, he might have scraped a draw if the knockdown was scored. That's really a stretch as well. Still think if they rematch, because Woodley really wants the rematch, he feels fucked. Like, and part of me thinks he was too hesitant to take a risk, because he's like, it just takes one punch, and if I get knocked out by this guy, my entire legacy and name will be ruined. Yeah, so he was too scared maybe to get like hit by. Even though he did take some of the biggest shots and he was fine. But Jake's like, take a tattoo. Like, they had some agreement that, like, the loser would get I love Jake Paul or I love Tyron Woodley tattooed on their body, the name. He's like, well, get the tattoo. We'll get the rematch. And he's like, well, bet. And then it's like, oh, fuck. He didn't want the rematch.
Jake doesn't want a rematch?
Jake doesn't want, he didn't want the rematch, but because he knows it's dangerous still. He got rocked bad as well. But so I think even with the rematch, despite everything we know about Paul and him winning and being a decent boxer now and everything, I still think Woodley wins a rematch.
Yeah, the second one? You put money on it again?
I mean, learn from your mistake. Yeah. I don't think Jake has what it takes to knock him out specifically. He has knockout power with nothing to knock him out from what we saw. Now, I wouldn't put money on it again, honestly, because what I've learned now is, like, don't bet on a Jake Paul fight.
Oh, yeah.
But
why don't you ever just bet on Jake Paul?
He's always a favorite, though. Like, that's another thing.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm not going to win little money on someone who's just started boxing. Like, and it's still he wins. And now everyone's like, Tyson Fury's brother was on the card too, and he would be the next opponent for Jake. Because he's like, oh, finally someone his size who's actually a boxer. And he's also just starting. It's like his fourth fight or something. No, wait, Jake's 4-0. I think he's 6-0 or 7-0 now. The Fury, but he's never been tested. Like one of his opponents was 11 and 102 or something. 11 wins, 102 losses. And they gave him a small guy, and he couldn't knock him out in the 4-round fight. And like he looks good. Like he has the skill set. You can see he's like a lifelong boxer. He's trained it and stuff. But he's not the material to be the best. And what I don't get is some people saying but Jake Paul will beat him. And like, listen, man, especially you, Brendan Schaub. Like, I don't know. So,
okay.
Brendan Schaub is
names now.
Someone I like. I like him. His takes usually, an MMA, so he's an MMA guy. But you sound like a fucking idiot talking about boxing. Like, you should actually stop analyzing boxing. Like, it's actually cringeworthy shit. The shit he's saying.
What did he say?
I don't remember specifically what he was saying, but what it comes down to is he was saying that how Jake Paul is too much for Tommy Fury, that's Tyson Fury's brother. He's shown more. He's looked a lot better. And it's like, listen, man, you forget like your own point that you're making, that the guy has not fought a boxer yet, despite what Tommy Fury's record is, who he's beat. He's beat actual boxers and boxers that have a whole lot of experience, not good winners, but they box. And the way you can see the technique he implements. Okay, he couldn't finish this guy. When has anyone's boxing ability ever been based on finishing a guy, though? Not necessarily. There's some people that barely have finished. Fucking Floyd and Manny in the last stretch of their career don't have knockouts.
Floyd is not really a knockout guy either, no.
The last knockout he got was ages ago, and that was when Ortiz made the mistake of not looking and hugging him again.
Yeah, that one.
That was the last one.
That was the last one, yeah.
And it was like, not really... It's not like he was paying attention. Like he knocked him out because he wasn't paying attention. So, any person looking at both, any person who watches boxing can tell that Tommy Fury's skill set is leaps and bounds above what Jake is. Now, can Jake still win that fight? He could.
Lucky punch.
I mean, lucky punch. I don't think he can get him out of there. I think his arms are I think he has some long arms, but what people also tend to forget, it's sometimes hard to fight a guy who's shorter. Like, it's not as easy to knock someone out who's shorter sometimes. Because you can see, like, a lot of the shots he was missing were well-placed shots if he was fighting someone more of his own size. He was just barely missing because, like, the guy is, like, he's just he's this ball of energy. Like, the positioning is different. His technique was awkward. It's very awkward because he has one boxing fight. The guy he fought, he's the MMA guy who has one professional fight. This was his second professional boxing fight, and it's like it was hard to land clean on him. Like, yeah, he was dominating him, completely dominated him all 4 rounds, not a dispute, nothing. And people are shitting on him like, oh, he didn't perform well, he didn't look too good. I'm like, bro, you're saying he washed this guy, and he did, but because he couldn't get the finish, now you're like, oh, but Jake Paul will be able to beat him because Jake Paul looked decent against a non-boxer. I think people are getting shit twisted here. Like, do you forget that this guy is still a lifelong boxer? You can see his skill set is and his movements and everything is more natural to him. His muscle memory is a lot more natural, but you're basing it off their performances, which you cannot compare because they're against two different sports,
completely different animals. Yeah, completely different animals. Yeah, we'd have to see it, man. We would have to see it.
I would love to see that, and maybe he'll prove us wrong again. Because
Put money on it.
Did you watch Love Island?
I did. In part.
The British one?
I saw the one where he shows up.
He's from there.
Yeah. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw the part.
But like, even though he has those obligations or whatever, but he's still a boxer. That's his thing. So
Well, isn't he done?
It's not like
he's still that's been done.
I think he's done. Yeah, but what I mean is like, Jake's taken like this is his life now. Like this, at least for now, he's dedicated to boxing. Mm-hmm. Like it's the same for Tommy. There's no other distractions. Whereas with the people he's been bringing in,
but he's not. He's not his brother. He doesn't have that sauce.
They have the swagger because they have the same father who trains them. He's his half brother, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Which is hence the looks. Because Tyson Fury.
Yeah, they look completely.
Looks like a 40-year-old old guy who's fat and and Tommy is a model. And but they have the same father, and their father is a great trainer, and you can tell it's the Fury school, the movements and the whole it flows right, and that's why I don't understand like, and you know what it feels like. It's last point. back in the day, so Tyson Fury is still undefeated, and he's absolutely one of the best heavyweights of all time. He's up there with the Ali's and the Mike Tysons. People are like, yeah, he's there. Yeah, well, Stitch Duran agrees with me, motherfuckers. So go take it up with him.
Okay.
Right? But back in the day, like, I'd say less than 10 years ago, maybe even somewhere when he started gaining some notoriety, everyone was giving him the same critiques as well. They're like, oh, against a weaker competition, he doesn't really look good. He just got cut here. He didn't really dominate this guy and everything. Like, well, step up to the occasion and fight the best guys, and he's untouchable. Like, I feel like maybe at least a lot of the critique I'm hearing from Tommy, and of course, I really don't think Tommy is gonna be a champion. Like, he's not. He's not at that level. I don't think he'll be at that level, and I think his progress is a bit too slow. Like, whereas like Tyson would be like, boom, from one year to the other, he's like improving so much. But the critiques they're getting are similar, are really the same. I feel, and maybe it's the style that they're learning to fight. It doesn't sometimes look always like they're dominating.
It doesn't look like it's not a fancy style.
Well, it's fancy, but maybe more defensive, more dancey, and you don't see half the shit that's landing, and you don't see which ones they're blocking. You think a lot of the stuff is landing, but they're actually blocking it. That happens a lot. But there's a lot of critiques that I'm noticing that are similar. Look at Tyson now. Untouchable, best heavyweight in the last decade, at least. About to go knock out Wilder once again. So,
You don't think Anthony Joshua is a competition?
I really think Fury is 2 steps ahead. At first, I was like going back and forth on it, 50-50. I had this talk with Stitch as well. And I mean, of course, he's a little bit biased because he's in Fury's corner. But, I mean, I was going on 50-50, and then afterwards I changed. I saw AJ's last 2 fights, actually, and then how Fury performed. I'm like, he's not going to be able to touch him. I think it's just unlucky that it's one of those things where you think AJ is just unlucky that he's born in the same era, because like Tyson Fury is one of those that happens to show up once every 30 years or something. One of those talents, like the legends of the sport, the Tysons and the Alis and the Haglers, and like those, the biggest names. He's on that level to me, and it's just, if you were just born 10 years later or 10 years earlier, you would be the guy. It's one of those. It's just because AJ will beat anyone else but him. Right?
Anybody, yeah, okay. Yeah,
he beats anyone else. Even Ruiz, being him, he got that one back. Yeah. So, but Tommy ain't no. The only thing I agree is like Tommy and Tyson are not. It's not the same.
Not the same.
No, but watch out. I'm going to clip this for you, motherfucker. I'm going to clip this once they fight, and we're going to see. But, I might be wrong again.
I'm curious. I'm going to have to see that.
He'll fight a real boxer, and for the first time, he'll fight someone his size if that happens.
I think he's going to get cooked if he does.
He will get cooked. That's what people are forgetting. The size. Like, oh, he looked good against a 170-pound guy. Like, yeah. I mean, I give him respect. It's, you still beat a UFC champion, but different game.
It's an actual boxer.
Yes.
Your size.
Yeah. And I'll say this, though, allowed to end it. Jake Paul is a real boxer. He's a real boxer now.
Oh, he's a real boxer now. Okay.
To me, he's a real boxer now. But then there's levels, and are you a professional boxer or are you an amateur level boxer?
He's real.
He's a real boxer now.
But he's an amateur still.
Yes, he's a real boxer now.
He's a real amateur.
You can't call him the YouTuber anymore. Like, he's not this YouTube guy. It's like, he's now a boxer, legitimately. He has a pro record. That's the questionable part. It's the pro record. But you can call him a boxer now. You have my permission to call him a boxer now, too.
Okay.
He's the boxer. The YouTuber gone boxer. That's it. Yeah. Not the Disney kid.
I mean, there's money in it.
Yeah. We need to get this platform big enough so that I can fight him.
So we can, yeah.
Yeah, I can make 10 million just fighting him.
Yeah, are you gonna dive, or if they pay you to dive?
But you never know what happens. Money changes people, so I can say no now, but that'll be my excuse though afterwards. If I lose.
Watch a whole doc come out years from now, like they were all paid to lose. They were all paid.
But that's what a lot of people are saying too. Like, yeah, they took a dive. Even people now are like, I don't get it, like, because he didn't get knocked out. So what are you talking about? That it was fixed. He actually, like, yeah.
No, the judges were.
Do you think he would have almost knocked him out if he it was paid off. Because Woodley had him there. He had him knocked down. If the ropes weren't there, it was a knockdown. His head would hit the canvas. Maybe he would have even knocked down then. So, can't be rigged.
Saved by the ropes.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, that's the meme now. Because even though Jake Paul won and everything, like, the big meme, because Jake is like, I'm going to turn you into a meme because it's in his internet language. He was telling Tyron Woodley. And then Tyron is the one who has the meme now, even though he lost. Because he has that image of Jake, eyes rolled back in the head, like, holding on the rope, falling. Yeah. Which is a cool thing to have, I don't mind losing if I have that. This is the age of the internet, man. Who cares?
Makes up for the losing.
I think they saw that, like, the pay-per-view numbers, if you look at, because he had this flat fee was $2 million that Woodley made, which is already the biggest payday of his life, because UFC didn't pay like that, unless you're Conor McGregor. And with pay-per-view, he made $7 to $8 million. Imagine that $2 million was already his biggest payday ever for a fight. He made 7 or 8. Another thing I'll give Jay credit for. He did this whole thing. He was talking about fighter pay, and everyone is like, yeah, he's just doing this to piss Dana White off. He's talking about like how the fighters are underpaid and everything. He took $1 million out of his purse too, and gave bonuses to everyone else on the card. Tommy Fury refused it. Well, Tommy didn't get it because he's supposed to be his next opponent. They've been talking shit to each other back and forth. And then Daniel Dubois, this other heavyweight who had a great knockout as well, he refused it because he's friends with Tommy Fury. So he refused the $50K extra. It's just dope. It's like, you're going to refuse $50K just because this guy's beefing with your boy and he's giving you the money? Awesome, man. That's principle.
Principle. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's probably going to go broke, though. Nah. Not if he keeps performing like that, man. He has some great knockout. He had first round knockout. I'm going to send you one fight from the card. The best fight was this guy called Montana Love. I'll send you that.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely back and forth. They knock each other down, and yeah, it's crazy. Cool. All right. That was it for me.
Yeah,
for you?
Further takes.
Takes.
No, Certified Lover Boy, 3rd of September. That's all I got.
We might give you a review on that.
I'm not even finished promo.
Let us know what you think of the show. Interact with us on Instagram. I'm going to put out our favorite tracks of Donda. You guys do the same, the top 7. And till next time.
Till next time.